Hello, welcome to the Cozy Sky Knits podcast. I'm Elizabeth and I'm coming to you today from Georgetown, Texas. This is episode 2 of my podcast. If you are a new viewer, welcome. I'm so happy that you've chosen to spend some time here. If you happen to be a returning viewer, welcome back. I so appreciate you. Today I am taking part in the Knitathon from Traveling Miss Knits. Pietrons puts together this event twice a year for us, and she lines up all these lovely podcasters and entertainment, and we progress through them virtually together as we knit along or crochet along, weave, whatever we're doing, any of our making, enjoying snacks and a little sleep when we need to through the 24-hour period. I'm so grateful to be participating this year on my new channel, so thank you to Pia for that. Let's go ahead and get started. I hope that everyone is cozy if you are taking part in the Knitathon. I happen to be drinking a cup of hot tea from Harney & Sons, an Earl Grey tea. It's a little rainy and chilly here in South Texas today, which we're having the rain and we're so happy for it, so I'm not complaining. But I'm drinking my tea in this really cute mug that I got, I think from Home Goods last year, and it's this really cute gray sheep dressed up in his best bunny ears with some spring flowers and his cute shirt and bow tie with polka dots, which I just think is so cute. And this mug just brings me a lot of joy. I love it. And plus it's really nice, heavy mug. It keeps the tea warm for a while. So thoroughly enjoying that. So, all right, let's get into some of the knitting content. I am wearing my one and only finished object this week, and it is my Christmas cactus cardigan from Pietrons. She released this pattern for Christmas this year, and I made it my Christmas Eve cast on. So I had, when Pia first started talking about it, I knew exactly what yarn I wanted to use because I had an advent from Christmas 2023 from a homespun house, and it was a non-superwash base, so I didn't really want to use it for socks. It was fingering. It was beautiful colors, and I wanted it to be something special, but I didn't know what when I had it. So I just kind of saved it for a year. And when Pia released this pattern, I knew that that's what I wanted to do with it. So for my main yarn, this creamy color here, I used a yarn from a somewhat local yarn store to me called West 7th Wool. And they are in Fort Worth, Texas, which I am fortunate enough to have customers and an office up in that area that I go to probably once a month. So I do stop in there whenever I'm able to, and I love going in that shop. It's really nice. Anyway, this is their non-superwash DK base. It has 246 yards per 100 grams, and it's extra fine 19.5 micron merino in the DK weight. This is their label. And the colorway that I use is called Sheepy, which is just pretty much a natural undyed. Really nice. It was a perfect match to my homespun house advent. Here's the tag from that advent. And this cardigan, I can't say enough about how lovely it was. It's a great pattern that was written by Pia. It's worked top down. She does give you 2 options to knit. You can either knit the whole thing in the round and steek it, which I was so tempted to do because steeking is one technique that I have not yet done. It's on my list. Every year it's on my list and I just haven't done it. So maybe 2025 is going to be the year that I brave that. I just wasn't brave enough to do it with this lovely advent because if something went wrong, I would have been just so distraught over it. So anyway, I ended up doing the second option, which was to knit it flat because I am team purl. I don't mind purling. I actually love purling, and I knit continental, so I think purling is really easy to me. I think I do almost like a Norwegian purl. I'm not even sure, kind of like, I don't know how I developed my technique, but I love it. I don't mind purling at all. I think it goes quickly. I don't mind ribbing. I love ribbing. I get into a rhythm when I do it, and I know that I am probably the odd man out on that one. But anyway, getting back to the cardigan. So it's knit top down. She has some really unique construction techniques, which I loved. Knitting an I-cord for the neck edge and then picking up stitches along that I-cord later and knitting the button neckband, excuse me. And then the button band is attached in a really unique way as well. It was new to me. I did put buttons. You can see here just these little clear translucent buttons that I had in my stash. And I did do buttonholes after the fact. The buttons were small enough that I was able to just kind of split the stitches, and I did a little reinforced stitching around, and then I blocked it that way. I decided I wanted buttons on this cardigan just because some of my cardigans I don't have buttons on, and this one I just decided I wanted to have them. So anyway, getting back to the yarn, I used the fingering weight held double to match up with the DK, and I got perfect gauge, matching gauge with that combination, so I was very happy about that. As far as my color choices, the colors in the Advent were just gorgeous, so I was very tempted to just toss them in a basket and pick them out and go. But then my brain kind of took a hold, and I was like, no, I have to be a little more methodical about it. I can't give up complete control. So I kind of laid out on the counter what I thought I wanted as my arrangement, with like sometimes a couple options for one. And I would knit a couple stripes, and then I would reassess the colors coming up. And I did make a few changes, as it kind of came together, which I thought was kind of interesting part of the process. But I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I think I got a good assortment of color. I will insert another video to show the full length of the cardigan so you can see it, because it's a little difficult for me to stand up here. So I'm not sure what else I can say. I knit pretty much to pattern. I knit a size 4, except that I omitted the last stripe because I'm kind of on the short side. I'm only 5 feet 4 inches. Just barely. And I am very short-waisted, so I omitted the very last stripe, and I just adjusted my increases another way, and really happy with the length that it turned out. I did use the recommended needles, US 4 for the ribbing, which is a 3.5 millimeter, and a US 6 or 4.0 millimeter for the main body. I already talked about the unique technique with the neckband, which I love. It provides so much structure when you're wearing the cardigan. The cardigan just stays kind of in place, and it's really, really nice. I like that. That was a really good feature, Pia. So yeah, I think that's about it on this. I love it, and I would knit another one. I probably will do one, and maybe I will steek the next one. So you guys can hold me accountable for that. But that's it. That's my finished object for the week, and kind of what I'm wearing too. Other than that, I just have a t-shirt on. Nothing exciting there. So I do have another project that I'm going to call a half-finished object. Last week I talked about the Rapunzel socks, which are a pattern available from the 52 Weeks of Socks book, volume 2. And the designer is Agata Mackiewicz. And I knit them in the a colorway called Lilac Blossoms from Beachy Breeze Fibers on their Boardwalk sock base. Whoops, let me turn it this way. And it's a really pretty lavender yarn. I managed to finish the first sock, which I'm very excited about. I haven't wet blocked them. I just steam blocked them on my sock blockers, which these are really nice heavy sock blockers from Twig and Horn that I love. The sock is beautifully constructed. You knit a folded over cuff with a picot edge, then you do a Latvian braid, and then you start with the lace on the back, and then just a textured pearl stitch pattern along the front. And then a new technique for me was the Flegel heel, and the gusset on these, which I think is really interesting, is along the bottom. And that sock just fits my foot like a glove. So I'll take it off the blocker so you can kind of see that gusset. It's really pretty how it goes. I will say that the instructions for the pattern, there are a couple things that I think a lot of knitters actually had trouble with. Number one, the Latvian braid instructions weren't in there on when to do it, but it was pretty obvious if you had looked at the picture, although some people did miss it. So I was aware of that. The other issue I had was with the spacing on some of the markers, on the gusset part. So I just it was easy for me to kind of know what I was doing, and I just made it work. And I'm really happy with the finished project. Like I said, fits me like a glove. I'm really anxious to get the second sock cast on and get that made, because I will love having these as part of my wardrobe. So hopefully I plan to work on that second sock during this event, the Knitathon, and maybe I'll have it done in a week. I don't know, we'll see. Wish me luck. I have another project on my needles that's really special to me. Last June, I turned 60, and I really wanted to start a project that would be kind of special to me and commemorate that milestone in my life. My father died last April, so it was kind of a sad time for me, and I wanted just something to bring a little bit of joy to me, and that would maybe spark some happiness during that grieving period. So something that I had always had my eye on was the rose cardigan from Andrea Mowry of Drea Renee Knits. And it looks so complicated, so I was always a little hesitant to cast it on, but I decided I was gonna go into that new decade of years with bravery, and I went ahead and purchased a yarn kit. And I actually purchased the kit from La Vie in the original colorway that Andrea knit the project in, or designed the project in, I should say. So the colors that I'm using are Damask, which is this lovely rose color, mauve color. And it's knit on, I'm sorry, the base is the Merino Sport by La Vie. So this is the color Damask. And then another color is the color Dusk, which is really pretty speckled. Third color is Rose Quartz, which has lovely lavender, rose, mauve, a little bit of blue, and some mossy green brown color. And then the colorway Winter Garden, which is a very light, very moderately speckled color. So all together, see if I can juggle this. You can see kind of how it's going to look. So beautiful yarn, beautiful colors. The pattern is a lot. It's knit sideways in quadrants, and it's a lot of cables and a lot of keeping track of various things at one time. But I will say, as difficult as a pattern that it might be, Andrea gives you a really good spreadsheet to keep track of everything, including where the increases are going on the different rows while you're fading, and you can just check each thing off, which is just a great resource. So I did print it out, and I am progressing. So I haven't gotten very far on it, but I did start. And this is the back right quadrant that I'm working on. So as you can see, I've faded 2 colors. I'm getting ready to fade the 3rd color in. And this is the cable that goes along the edge, which will become the top of the sleeve, I think. Yeah, so anyway, really enjoying it. You're doing, the purl side is, the reverse stockinette or purl side is going to be the right side of the garment. So it'd be kind of interesting. I have this cute little progress keeper that my sister actually made me, a little primitive sheep, which I just love him. So I am enjoying that. I'm knitting it on my Chigo circulars in the US size 2 or 2.75 millimeters. And I have these really cute 3D stitch stoppers, these little baby sheep, which I think are also so cute. So anyway, that is a work in progress. That's kind of a special project. I know it's going to take me a while to knit that. I just work on it sporadically whenever I have a little bit of time where I can kind of really focus on it. It does require quite a bit of focus. So I know I have to take it slow on that project, and when it gets done, it gets done. I'm trying not to rush it and just enjoy the process. So although it is a product I want, I really am enjoying the process. So I think it's both a product and a process knit for me. Usually I'm more product oriented because I just love what I make. I don't know if that's good or bad, but yeah, generally I really want the end product when I knit. And that's the case here too, but I am really enjoying the process, like I said. So the last big project I wanted to talk about today that's on my needles is the Keep It Warm sweater by Yeon Lee. And it's a beautiful cabled and lacy textured sweater that is knit in a combination of yarns. I am using Miss Babs Katadin, which is 100% superwash blue faced Leicester wool. And I'm using, I have this giant cake. I'll show you. Let me hold it up. I am using the colorway Sugar, which is a really nice pink color, soft pink, rosy pink that I love. And I'm holding that together, one strand of that together with Pearl Soho Tussock Sock, which is 60% superfine kid mohair and 40% silk. And one of my favorite mohairs in the colorway Pink Fog. And here's that. So the two together. This is a little bit warmer. This is a little bit cooler. So they're making a very nice fabric. The sweater is knit top down, starting with the neck, which you knit in twisted rib or half twisted rib, and then you do a fold over collar. I haven't gotten very far on this, but I've just gotten through the short row shaping, and it was a bit challenging for me. In fact, I started it twice. The first time, I don't know, you have so many markers and I wasn't paying full attention, and I stopped because I got interrupted. And then when I picked it back up, I couldn't figure out where I was at. So I just ripped all the way back to where I had folded over and joined the collar together and started over. And I did finish that. So this is the back of the sweater, which is plain. You're knitting this beautiful lace pattern down the sleeves as you're increasing the raglan. It's a raglan style sweater. And then the front will have a panel of lace that's that cable that goes down, decorative lace and cable that goes down the front. So I haven't really started that yet. I'm just getting ready to do that. I just finished, like I said, the short row shaping. So I will say that the pattern, it's not difficult. It's a little more difficult because you're tracking a lot of different things. The way it's written out, it's not charted. The instructions are pretty word intensive, and it's easy to get lost in the paragraph of the wording. And I think a lot of people put that in their Ravelry comments, and that might have caused some of the confusion when I went to pick it back up and couldn't figure out where I was at. But anyway, it is going to be a beautiful sweater. I really do want the finished project. So I'm going to continue to work on it, and hopefully it'll get a little bit easier now that I'm starting to see the pattern and I've gotten through that short row shaping, because I think that was the biggest part. So I can now clearly see where the increases go and what have you. So now it's just a matter of following the charts without having to be knitting on the wrong side and the right side as you're doing short rows and trying to navigate all that. So I also wanted to talk a little bit about some upcoming plans that I have and a couple of stash enhancements. So one skein of yarn that I got recently was from Stash Yarn in her Perfect Must Match set, which is a sock base in the colorway Get Lucky. And I got this around St. Patrick's Day. So thus the green and this rainbow of colors. And it's a self-striking yarn. I love Stacy's yarn. She's a local Texas dyer, a friend of mine from San Antonio. And I can't decide what pattern I want to make with these, if I want to do something by hand or on my circular sock machine. I have an Erlbacher Speedster, and so I might just crank a pair of socks. I haven't decided, but that is something that I'll be looking to get cast on soon, very soon. And another item that I bought recently in my stash is this giant cone of this beautiful yarn from Pearl Soho called the Knitting Yarn on a Cone. And it is a humongous skein, 1,000 grams, 2,187 yards, and it's a DK weight, and it's in the colorway Wild Guava, and it's this beautiful pinky coral color. I'm not sure what I want to make with this. Because I have quite a bit of yardage, I might make another cardigan. I made a bright yellow cardigan last year that I wear all the time, that I held multiple yarns together. So if I got some mohair, I could hold this double and hold a strand of mohair and probably knit that same cardigan. I wear it all the time. That would be really beautiful. I think it would be a nice pop with like black pants and a white top, or in the summer in restaurants in the air conditioning here, just to take into a restaurant. I think it would be really nice as well, even with like a white skirt or shorts, be really cute. Anyway, I just love this color, and it's enormous. So looking for ideas. If you have any ideas on patterns that would be a good fit for this, I'd appreciate any suggestions you might have. I'm open to your suggestions, so, and looking for guidance. So that, and then another fun project that I'm going to be starting is the Someone to Write Gnome About mini, which is this cute little gnome with these little self-striping socks and his long cap, which I just think he's adorable. It is a pattern by Sarah Skira, and I also bought the kit from Mustache Yarns to make the gnome. This is the self-striping. I've already wound it because I'm getting ready to cast this on. And then I think this is the boysenberry, and this is the natural contrast colors. So this is for his beard, and this will be for his body. I'm looking forward to getting started on that. I might even do that during the knit-a-thon tonight. I might be casting this on. So that's going to be getting on my needles soon. Then another stash enhancement that I got actually last May, so it's been a while, and I've done nothing with it. It was another thing that was kind of special to me. I've always wanted to knit with Knitathon by Yeon, and I have yet to do so. So also for my birthday, actually my father and my mother and father, before he passed, went ahead and ordered me some yarn, some Knitathon yarn when it came out in the spring, and it came in, I think it came in late April or early May, after my father had passed. So it's kind of special. I've just been holding on to it. But I got two different colors. This color is called, sorry, check my notes here, Piggelina, and it's actually a green, beautiful green color. And it's a lace weight unspun yarn. And I got 300 grams of this color. And then I got this beautiful pink color. For those of you who don't know me, I love pink. So this color is called Kronblad, which is a pink color. And I got 500 grams of this. So I have quite a bit of this. Not sure what I'm going to knit with this either. I know I've looked at some of Melody Hoffman's patterns because she does some beautiful things with unspun yarn. I don't know if I should hold it together with mohair, double-stranded it. I do color work. I just don't know. I have no idea what to do with it. I have a lot of it, and I really like the colors together too. So I even thought about striping something a little bit. If you have ideas for this, I would greatly appreciate it. I want it to be something special, something that I'm going to love, and it'll become like an heirloom piece for me. So yeah, so those are kind of some fun new things that are coming up in my knitting plans. And I don't know about you guys, if you have any dream knitting that you're working on, anything really interesting that you want to share, drop it in the comments. I'd love to see what everyone is up to. That's kind of one of my favorite things to do. And that's how we all get inspired, right? Is we feed off of each other. So I think that's a fabulous benefit of this great knitting community. Something else that I've really been enjoying is this new book that I got called Knits to Wear. It's by Veronica Lindberg, and it's a beautiful book. The photography in it is really nice. It's fun. It's got a really nice vibe to it. I particularly have picked out a few of the patterns. I think it's a good mix of warm weather, cold weather, accessories, garments, good mix of patterns for all of that. She's got a really beautiful sweater called the Urban Romance, which obviously is just gorgeous. There's another one called the Limoncello cardigan, which I think is beautiful. It was done in a really pale yellow. See if I can find that picture. Oh, this one's really pretty too. This is my favorite Knit Story card pullover with all that detail. That's gorgeous. And I don't know, so I'm kind of spending some time perusing this to pick out some things that I might want to knit. I feel like my knitting mojo is back in full force, and I'm excited when I read these books and look through things. I'm trying to spend more time, I should say less time, online searching things and spending more time in my patterns that I have and my books and finding different things that might bring me joy. Yeah, so here's the limoncello cardigan. I think is beautiful. Let me share that picture. I just think that's so pretty. So yeah, I just wanted to share that I have been really enjoying that book. I don't know if anyone else has it, if you've perused it, and what your thoughts are on it. I also enjoy her podcast. She's a fun podcaster to watch, and she has a little baby that just turned 1, so that's kind of fun. I also wanted to share a tale of woe with you. At the holidays, I bought my mom and I matching sweaters. I called them the cozy sweaters. They were these little hoodies that were made out of a boucle. It was mostly wool and I think some cashmere. And anyway, there's a funny story that goes with it. I'm going to put in another video clip of my mom who's going to explain this story of woe, and hopefully it'll give you guys a good giggle. Hi everybody, this is my mother. Hi Mom, introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Nancy, Elizabeth's mom.
And she's joining me for this short segment on the Knitathon. I bought her a really cozy sweater for Christmas and I wanted her to show it to you. Mom, why don't you try it on?
I would, but there's a little problem.
What?
I washed it.
She washed it. Okay, for reference, let's show them the real sweater. Or the original sweater, which was a boucle with wool and cashmere.
But I did follow the instructions.
Yes. Okay, we'll get you another one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That's all I have today for you for the knitting content. As far as life updates, I've just been continuing to work through my company's reorganization. Made some progress with my job, which I think will be beneficial for me. So we'll see. Fingers crossed on that one. My mom and I have been busy doing landscaping, continuing our landscaping outside in our new home. And we spent some time at a newly discovered garden center here in Georgetown, Texas, that we were really excited to find. And I will put some B-roll in on our little trip there, some of the beautiful flowers. So if you're in a cold climate, maybe this will bring a little touch of spring and summer to you. And I hope you enjoy it. Okay, well, that's all I have for you today. I want to take the minute here to say thank you for watching and spending time with me. I truly appreciate every one of you, and I hope that you're enjoying the Knitathon if you're participating in that. And I hope that you're finding joy in your making, whatever that might be, knitting, crocheting, quilting, anything fiber related. And if you are not subscribed and you like this content and you think you might want to watch future episodes, please subscribe. I'm trying to grow my channel, and make sure you have the bell turned on so you'll get the notifications. And if you did like this episode, I would greatly appreciate if you could give me a thumbs up. And if you're watching this after the fact and you want to leave a comment, I enjoy reading that as well, and I try to respond to everyone. So, okay, until next time, I hope that you find joy in your making, stay happy and healthy, and spread some kindness every chance you get. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.